So where we're going to pick up is Britta and Perry just tore their tickets and vanished, and Im'Land made a leap of faith. Im'Land, heights and falling have never been one of your fears, but this time it's different. This leap was into the unknown. Where will you land? What will happen to Britta and Perry? What was the deal with the dragons? And what happened to Rebecca? As you fall, you look back and see the black smoke of the wyvern, bolts of blue and streams of molten red erupting from it, when suddenly the familiar form of the wyvern bursts out of it as it lets out a deafening roar. It beats its wings, flying away from the skytop, when suddenly another figure leaps out of the smoke, and smaller and distinctively elven, Adric. With an inhuman leap, he lands squarely on top of the wyvern. He lifts what seems to be a glowing dagger and stabs at the wyvern. There's an explosion, which even at this distance you can feel in your chest. Make a perception roll for me, please.
20.
Cool. Wow, that's exactly what you needed.
Oh, wow.
You see streams of flame and cinder erupt from the wyvern's body as it seems to almost shrink. It tries to flee, but the more furiously it flaps its wings, the smaller it seems to get. Then your vision is filled with white as you pass through layer upon layer of cloud. When you finally merge, the view of the skytop is no more, and the manicured lawns of the central plateau rise up to meet you. The last few meters of your fall are a little faster than expected, and you can tell that the spell has finally worn off. So I need you to roll acrobatics for me, quick.
I doubt this is going to be as fantastic as last time. Oh, actually, no, it's fine. 20.
Okay, cool. That's cool. You get to your feet, you dust yourself off, when you hear a voice from behind you. That was quite an entrance, young man. I must applaud your showmanship. You see the wrinkled gnome sitting, feet dangling, on a park bench. His attention leaves you as he continues throwing handfuls of seed to a gathering flock of pigeons. So, what brings you to the park in such an excited manner?
I don't know. Sorry, wait. I was engrossed in your story. I forgot to get into character.
Oh, you're gonna make me blush.
I forgot I was playing. I was just listening to what you were doing. I guess I'm gonna be like, I set everything on fire up there, so I figured I'd come down here and see if it's different. Also, did you know everyone up there is an asshole?
Oh yes, well, that's the skytop. It's most people above the middle districts are assholes, as you call them. So, are you going to sit down and tell me your story?
Now that I see a gnome, I feel more at home already.
Oh, well, thank you. That brings warmth to an old gnome's heart. So come sit, tell me your story.
I'll sit and I guess, what, do I tell him my whole story or do I tell him, like, the last 10 minutes?
Well, you can tell him what you want.
Well, I guess I tell him,
anything if you don't want.
I tell him where I'm from, that I was raised by gnomes. I tell him that I had to leave my home on a mission of intellectual importance. I'd tell him how the city has been horrid since I got here, and how going home would be amazing, but I'm not done yet. And then I tell him that I was semi-forced to go to a party which exploded, which is how I got here.
He looks at you thoughtfully, like you can tell he's like really like paying attention to the story, and he nods as he's listening. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his smoking pipe and he lights it. And as he lights it, what catches you as odd about it is the smoke that, as he like takes a deep pull of it and like breathes it out, just for a second you think, wow, like that's weird. Why is the smoke purple? I need you to roll a wisdom save for me, please.
12.
As you're telling the story, you get to the part of the escape, and you think back to it, and You remember Perry. She said she was going to cast a spell on you to help you descend. I think she called it Featherfall. Then you think, no, wait, did that happen? And then you think back, it's like, no, I tried to put on the ring and I jumped and I fell. Like, yeah, that sounds right. Yes, I was falling, but then how did I survive?
I'm
And then you
pretty
think
sure
back.
she cast it.
Hey?
I'm pretty sure she cast it.
No.
Wait, why did she cast it?
What's happened to you now is you have had modified memory cast on you. Yeah. So then you remember falling and like you were gonna die, and then there was a small figure just like burst out. You don't know where it came from, and then it was Rebecca. Rebecca swooped in, and Rebecca cast Featherfall on you. Rebecca saved you.
Oh, she's so
and then,
nice.
And then he's like, yes, yeah, I don't know what happened to Perry's spell, but Rebecca was the one who saved me. I owe Rebecca my life.
Christ.
And then you just think about this for
all my
a while.
clouds.
And as your head clears, because you felt it swimming, when you suddenly realize you're a lot drunker than you thought you were, and suddenly your mind, you get a bit more clarity, and then when you regain composure, you're on the park bench, but now you're alone.
Okay.
And what do you do?
I guess I have a look around for the gnome.
Nope.
Just like a scout,
no one.
just like a little look around. I'm like going under bushes and stuff.
You can roll a broad perception.
9.
Yeah, this is just the general park. You can see the grass is the greenest you've seen. There's definitely money where you've landed, but there's no one else with you. Like when you look around, the sun is starting to set a bit. The sky is turning different shades of orange and blues. So it's getting late, but there's no one around you.
I guess what he'll do is he'll just take a bit of he's gonna sit on the bench and attune to the ring. I guess you just kind of zen it on the bench.
Okay, cool. So just a bit of directions for you. You landed here in the central plateau.
Okay.
It's directly under the skytop, and you need to get to Dura, or Middle Dura. So that's where the Leaking Teapot is. So on average, that's going to take you about an hour.
So I don't
to get
need
there.
to jump down. I actually need to cross, almost like a ravine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's,
okay. So tuning to the ring is not going to help diddly.
Well, you can jump down and then go across, but it's up to you. I'll let you attune to one item on your way, because you're not going to be doing anything strenuous. So yeah. Cool.
Okay,
so
if I can attune to the ring and move, then I guess I'll make my way carefully there. Obviously, trying not to draw too much attention to myself. I won't put my hood over my head or anything super suspicious like that.
So you are going to head off to the Leaking Teapot. So we'll cut off over to Perry.
Okay, wait. So I can wear my ring now, right?
Yeah.
Or your armor. He said you could choose.
He'll probably wear the ring and then make a vault. So wait, does my sit on the bench count as a short rest though? I'm asking.
Shit on the bench.
Yeah, I'll count your getting roofied as a short rest.
Okay, yay.
Okay, cool. So Perry.
Yeah.
The last thing you see before you're blinded by the familiar white flash of teleportation is Im'Land, with the grace of a deer, leap off the edge of the skytop. You swear that he tosses you a rose as he falls, then darkness. The first thing you sense The first thing you sense is the smell of stale ale and the acidic stench of cleaning supplies. That, and your feet are wet. As your vision adjusts, you look around, and instead of the expansive curio shop you were expecting, you find yourself in a broom cupboard. What do you do?
Okay. I'm gonna sort of stand up, I guess. Let my eyes adjust. And see if there's anything I can use as socks in this room. I don't like my feet being wet.
Roll investigation for me.
So 13 plus 7. Oh, 20. 30, 20.
Cool. So there's no socks, but you do notice that you're standing in a bucket of dirty mop water, and around you is...
That'll do it.
Is general, like, rags, like I said, just random cleaning supplies.
Okay, I'm going to step out of the bucket of water then. And look for any light
roll
coming
acrobatics.
under a door or something. Oh, fuck me. You're
No,
going to make
I'm
me roll out of
joking.
acrobatics to get a fucking...
I'm joking.
Gonna make you bail out of a bucket.
This motherfucker.
That would be a great end. You roll a 1. He's like, you fall out of the bucket, hit your head against the shelf, and die.
And die. Guys, I rolled acrobatics and I got a nat 20.
Okay, you
What
make an impressive leap, like inspired by the leap you saw Im'Land make, and it's so incredible that somehow the actual moisture from your socks is left behind in the bucket, so now your feet are now dry.
Let's jump out of the water, as in there's no more water
That is
attached.
amazing. Okay, that's great.
As you land, you're met with this wave of sadness that no one was around to witness it.
Oh, okay. I was like, was the water anti-sadness one there?
So yeah, you regain your composure and your eyes have adjusted and you're just looking around, and what you hear is music and laughter and just the familiar sound of a tavern. So what do you do?
Well, I realized, like, I tore my ticket with Britta, and I suppose we didn't confirm that our tickets take us to the same place, but, like, realistically, I would want to look for Britta. Like, I'd be a bit freaked out that we came back separately.
Okay.
And also, that was quite a dramatic dragon encounter, and I could use a drink. So I guess I'm going to sigh with subtle relief that I don't have to talk to the creepy what's her name? Something.
Arissa. I think.
Arissa. Yes,
Arissa.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are
So I'm a little
you
bit
doing?
Scared, well, grateful that I don't have to speak to Arissa. I'm looking for, like, a little bit of light, or maybe where I heard the sounds coming from, like head towards, try and find, like, a door and exit out of here.
Well, you're literally like this is like the little, that zoomed the wrong way. You're in this little room. So that's all you can see. So there's obviously a door. Are you going to peek out the door? Are you going to burst out the door? What is your plan?
Yeah, I'm going to really, really quietly turn the handle, so that you can almost just hear mechanical clicks, but only if you're listening for it. So yeah, I'm going to gently open, make a crack, and just sort of see what I can see through, like, a centimeter of the door.
Okay, cool. Roll a stealth check for me.
Okay. Oh, girl, it's another 20. How is this happening?
Oh, wow. Okay, so as you peek out from the crack in the door, you see a very familiar sight. It almost, your heart sinks. It's the Drunken Dragon. It's full to the brim with customers and staff, and the very familiar dwarf Boria standing behind the bar.
Okay, Cool. So I still look like Adric.
I don't know what you look like at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still look like Adric. Because once I realized, that. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Cool. So I'm still gonna look like Adric. So I'm really like a little bit upset that I'm here, but like I'm like at least I don't look like me. At least I've got this like disguise on. I feel like you made me roll stealth for get.
So
The
here's the what you can see.
What
So
I
where
can
do you
see.
want
Oh,
to rent?
in that goddamn little fucking room, man. Jesus. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So they literally, if I'm not like hella quiet and he's distracted or looking in the wrong direction, then he's not gonna see me. Well, he is gonna see me. I mean.
Well, did you
So, like,
roll your second stealth check? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And what did
17.
you get?
Okay, so it's actually 19. 17.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Sorry, I haven't been
you're
adding
fine.
that this whole time, but whatever.
It's a very busy bar. Everyone's very distracted by their conversations and the alcohol, and no one's paying attention to you. So you slip out. And where do you want to go?
I'll just sort of subtly take a chair at that first table, like sort of towards the like corner. Yeah. And see if I can, and I'm gonna try and look around to see if I can see Britta.
Cool. Roll perception for me.
I rolled a 6 plus 4, 10.
So you don't see any Brittas around. You look and you scan the room, and it's the regular bunch that are here. It's the adventuring type. It's not as scummy as the last time you were in here, but it's definitely full with people who can handle their weapons and hopefully their alcohol.
For the benefit of these who have not read her character sheet, does she know where she is?
We did like a one-shot, Kendall and I, with Wade in this bar. It's basically like our meet cute story, like how we became friends. But we got into a lot of trouble at this bar, and we have absolutely been avoiding it this whole fucking time.
I see. Okay.
So it is really fucking scary that I'm in there, but I am quite lucky that I still have the disguise.
Oh, nice. Okay, I understand now.
So yeah, looking around, you don't notice any familiar faces apart from old Boria behind the bar. But what you do notice is a waitress coming up to your table, and she walks up there. She looks at you like strangely, like she didn't see you walk in, and
I'm gonna wink at her.
she smiles and roll an insight check for me.
Okay. 19 plus 4, 23.
Cool. You know, the smile that she flashed you is more like not particularly interest in you, but more, oh, this guy is going to tip me well. I'm going to make some money off him.
Okay. All right.
So
cool.
She walks up to your table and just like looks at you and is like, oh, hey there, I didn't see you get in, but let me remedy that. How can I make it up to you? What can I get you to drink?
Well, I'm gonna bring me something strong and cheap, and tell me if you've seen any random blondes come past.
She looks at you and says, well, our alcohol is strong, and maybe if you tip, I could be cheap. But then, unfortunately, I'm not a blonde. And then she just turns around and walks to the bar and gives you one of those like cheeky head back glances and starts chatting to Boria. Are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to wait for your drink?
Well, I don't think there's anything else I can do. I'm concerned about Britta, so I guess maybe because there's another room back there, right, that I can't see shit in.
Well, you can see up, if you remember, you guys escaped through the back here. You like ran through the kitchen and made your way out the back door.
Yeah. But wasn't there like another hall as well? Like on the outside the bar, that doorway goes to like a hall, right?
So this way goes to like the entertainment stage area. This way goes to like the staircase, so you can go upstairs to the rooms and that.
Oh, yes. And then the front door is there by those two little guys in the corner.
Down here, yeah.
Mm. Okay, cool. Then actually, I think I'm just gonna wait. And what I'm gonna start doing though, is I'm gonna start humming, Britta's, favorite dissonant whispers theme tune.
Yeah. All right, so you start.
Yeah. Okay.
So you start humming, and as you're humming, the waitress comes back and puts the bottle down with 2 glasses, and like just looks at you and is like, "This is a really good vintage. It's even better if you share it."
I love sharing vintages with
Cheers.
non-vintages.
Oh, wonderful! And like sits down and pours 2 drinks and pushes yours towards you. You can see it's almost full to the brim.
This is when you take your disguise off and she faints.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna take my drink and like sort of like, because it's too full, like sip it with like a dweeb, but kind of pretending to be cool at the same time. And then I'm gonna just sort of take whatever I think would be double the price of this bottle of wine, and reach over, take her hand, and put the money in her hand, and ask her how her night's going.
Okay, how much money are you giving her?
Whatever double the fucking wine is. I don't know.
So what if I said like 20 gold? Do you have 40
Okay,
gold?
no, I don't have 40 gold. Like, please be reasonable.
Okay, I'll say 10 silver.
10 silver. Okay, fine. Fuck it. I'll say hand this prostitute 10 silver then. Fuck.
Holy crap, that's like 300 times more money than Im'Land has.
I know. I'm so upset.
Cool.
I
So-
committed to this persuasion way before I considered my
So-
finances. Anyway, carry on.
So she takes it and like stuffs it down like the front of her dress and says like, "Well, my night's going a lot better now." And then she takes her drink and just like knocks it back. And as you spin yours, can you roll Constitution for me?
Oh, for fuck, this bitch poison.
No, you're just drinking.
No. I don't like this. I don't like
I'm
this.
going to have a drinking competition with you in the background.
Okay. I rolled a
I'm
15
seven.
plus 2, 17.
Damn
Okay,
it.
cool. You take it,
Sure.
and even that one little sip, like even as you raise it to your face, like it almost seems to like burn your nasal cavities. It's the strongest alcohol you've smelled outside of a laboratory. You take that one sip, and you have a flashback to that Ember Wyvern, just like the pure heat that goes down your throat, and you give out a little cough, but nothing else happens. And then she's like, "Oh, that's the spirit," and pours you another one.
Roll for initiative against the beer.
Oh god, what is this? Is this actual like fire whiskey situation?
You don't know what this thing is. You haven't even looked at the bottle.
Okay, but I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna sort of look at her and be like, wow, this bitch is gonna get me killed. And I'll be like, you're a tricksy one. As I'm saying that, I'm gonna pick up the label and fucking read the label and figure out what the fuck she just gave me, because now I'm really just trying to find my blonde friend.
It's you look at it, and it's a dark liquid. It's like, so you've seen whiskeys and the like, and it's the same sort of color palette, but if this had almost like coal mixed into it, it's a dark color with almost like flecks of black. And the label, you read it, it's called the Bane of Karnath.
The Bane
There's
of
3 X's
Kana.
on it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. I'm going to sort of lean over to this lovely young drinker, and say, I don't suppose little half elf came through here just before me. Blonde, small, annoying.
Note of concern for a new friend, England, by the way.
True.
Well,
So
let's just say I've invested quite a bit of money in her for the evening, and I hate to lose track of her.
Yo.
So what she does is she pushes your drink towards you and says, well, at this rate, I think I would start getting offended if my company wasn't holding your interest and you're still looking for that blonde of yours.
Oh no, my dear, you're very, very interesting. As I said, I just don't want to wake up tomorrow feeling robbed. We can, you can keep me company. I'm sure she'll be around in a second. I just need to go to the little boys' room.
You're socially awkward trapped.
Okay, so you're going to the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, as you go up into
on fire.
what you discover in the bathroom is a familiar sight. Oh, Britta.
Oh no!
Hey! But her hair is all disheveled. She's looking a bit like she's got bags under her eyes. And oh, Harry! Hey! How's it going? Where did I wake up, by the way?
You woke up in the bathtub, tangled in the shower curtain.
That sounds about right. Like drunk.
That is a better thing to do.
So, as the first thing you notice, apart from this fight with the shower curtain, before the door opens, is the stench of alcohol
Coming off me.
getting closer and closer. No, it's coming off Perry, who's just been drinking instead of looking for you. So yeah, now you two are in the bathroom together.
I mean, what she sent 8. What would it be? Crows. Okay, good. So God, what's that smell? It smells like my hopes and dreams.
Well, there's a very easy and forceful waitress out there if you're interested, but mostly this is the Drunken Dragon, and I don't think we should be here, and I think we should get the fuck up now.
Weren't we just somewhere else? Wasn't there? I vaguely remember something involving a dragon.
Yeah, we got out. The tickets were supposed to take us back to the Leaky Teapot, but now we ended up in this leaky ass fucking bar.
Oh Jesus, this week has been really shit, Parry. Let's go.
Well, there's a decent drink outside for you if you're into it.
I could use a drink, yeah. Sounds good.
I'm not being funny, but the bartender's literally right there, and there is absolutely no way they won't recognize you.
Didn't we kill people last time?
Yes, Britta. People died.
We did. People died. I vaguely remember that before the flaming dragon, crazy little devil child called Rebecca thing. Hang on, wait.
This wasn't even anything to do with Rebecca. We did this, and we're gonna get in shit for it, and we need to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, hang on. Wait, I've got a disguise kit. Do I have time to disguise myself a little?
No.
Not.
I'd say even at 10 minutes, this is the only bathroom on this floor, and you guys are going to get disturbed.
Okay, can I look around for windows?
You guys are literally in the bathroom. There's one of those tiny little windows to let out smells, but nothing you guys could escape through.
And it's not big enough for the smells either.
All right, so Britt.
All right, we make a run for it.
What about if I go outside? I could distract them. I was out there just now. No one seems to recognize me because I still have Adric's space. So
why'd you put me in the bag? Can I go in the bag? Oh, the dead body's still in the bag. Do we take the dead bodies out the bag?
Yeah, you guys took the dead bodies out.
Why don't you put me in the bag and not let me die in there?
Okay, listen, I do have to warn you though.
What's in
I'm
the
very
bag?
messy. It's not very tidy in there.
That's okay. Probably less messy than having my guts spilled all over the drunken
Is
bag.
this a fantasy equivalent of excuse that my car is messy? Is
Yeah.
this
Yeah, sorry. The last time I cleaned it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Just haven't had the time, really. Anyway, so if you get in the bag, it's gonna get a bit stuffy. I promise to try not let you suffocate, but you've got about 10 minutes.
Okay, maybe just walk straight for the door. Okay, let me get in the bag, and if anything happens, you can always take me out of the bag. Or let me out.
Yeah, unless it happens to me, Britta. So maybe keep your ticket and get back in the bathroom if this doesn't go well.
Okay. I've got my ticket in hand. Let me get in the bag.
Okay, I guess I put it in the fucking bag of holding.
Okay, cool. So you guys start heading down back into the room. Are you heading down, by the way?
Yeah. I'm gonna head out. Yeah, like I
Cool.
went
door.
for a normal bathroom break. I'm
As
going
you-
to. Yeah.
Yeah. You're heading to the front door.
No, I was heading towards my table, pick up my bottles, say goodbye to a bitch.
Okay, so
Big castle, hella cool.
you get the bottle, and as you reach for it, she grabs your arm and just says, like, "Are you leaving already?"
Well, yeah, busy man, prostitutes.
Tell her you got the shits. I don't know.
But you are a lovely way to spend an evening. So
Then she says, "Yes, so spend it with me," and she like pulls you back into the bar.
Barry super wants to kiss this girl, but also doesn't want Britta to die. So he's going to sort of lean in and kiss her on the forehead and then say, "I'll see you around," and leave.
Cock block, but Britta in a bag.
Wow.
What's your name, darling? I'll come calling again.
Rebecca. No.
Just worst nightmare. Fuck. 6-year-old girl. And a grown-up.
I'll fucking die. I can't
No.
spend 45 minutes flirting with Rebecca. Jesus.
No. Rebecca was off doing other things.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
No, wait.
Like roofie.
Roofie's a strong word. But yeah, she was off busy roofing people.
I
So
won't lie.
she-
I thought this waitress bitch was definitely roofing me. I won't lie. I really didn't think for a second that I should have checked the drink.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I just put two and two together? Was the little gnome Rebecca?
Don't know.
It was a gnome.
It had
Well,
Yes, there was
otherwise,
stuff happened to Im'Land that he doesn't want to talk about.
Also,
Yeah.
Rebecca was smoking the pipe before, remember?
Yes. Huh. Okay. Anyway.
so yeah, she she looks hurt, but then like she grabs you with both hands and like whispers in a forceful flirt, "My name's Belka, and you better be back." And then like lets you go and just heads back into the room.
Can Britta hear all of this from inside the bag?
No, Britta
Yeah.
is technically in a different dimension at the moment.
Void. The dark black
Yeah.
void.
Yeah, okay, so then I'm going to head for the door out into the street and sort of scope out the darkest, nearest alley that will definitely take me nowhere near 10 minutes to get to.
Okay, cool.
Or even
I'm not
just
gonna
in the
make-
street.
I'm not going to make you roll perception and all that anyway, because finding an alley is not hard. Just roll stealth for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
15
That would be
plus
handy.
2, 17.
yeah, that's enough though. Everyone in this area, you can tell, is properly in their cups by now. If they're not already like in a bar. They're heading towards one, so they don't really care about you. So yeah, you successfully extract your buddy from the bag.
Oh, yay!
Hey, what's up?
Not to be funny or anything, but that lady who sent us on this mission, who got us there by threatening us with secrets, said she didn't know our secrets and she was tricking us, and yet she brought us back to our place of secrets. So,
what?
This bitch knows some shit.
Who the fuck was she?
Some shit.
Do you know what? Oh wait, look, we don't talk about this anymore. Let's go get a drink somewhere else. I need a drink. What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck has just happened to us?
To be away from here, but I think realistically, I don't know. The friend I made in there was expensive company, and I'd really like to get paid. So should we not track down Arisha? I'm just saying we didn't get our money. We have to be careful of her because she knows the things that she told us she didn't know.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I've got nothing else to do tonight. Why not, like, get into another dodgy fucking situation with?
Okay, cool. So,
dragon.
are you guys heading back to the Leaking Teapot?
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
I think also definitely like just trying to stick to like dark alleyways if we're anywhere near the Drunken Dragon still.
Okay, cool. So, with your drinking and your attempts at stealthing your way back, it takes you more or less an hour as well to get back to the general area of the Leaking Teapot. What you guys see is as you're going down, the area is getting less and less posh. Everything seems a little more decrepit. The walls themselves are cracked, and you can tell they haven't been painted in years. And the thing that strikes all three of you as you walk is that it's a lot darker than you thought it would be. And that's not because it's particularly late in the day, even though the sun is setting. It's just that because Dura is so, well, this part of Dura is so low down, the sun goes down here earlier. It just gets blocked out by the taller districts. And as you approach with the same amount of luck that brought the three of you together, you spot each other across the alleys from opposite ends. But before then, roll perception for me, all of you.
Okay.
10, my glasses. I was cleaning my glasses.
Perception, I got a 12. And plus 4. Wait. Plus 4. Nice. 18.
Yeah, I got 10 plus
16.
4 is 14.
Cool. So what Im'Land and Britta see is just like something getting flung out of the alley. And Parry, like with your perception, you look closer, and what you see is what's being flung are silver coins. And you think that's weird. And as you approach and you look closer, the person who's throwing them is a familiar homeless person that you saw not 3 hours ago.
Oh no! He's back, brother. Don't let him push you.
He's not paying attention to you guys. What you see is like he's hiding behind trash and any sort of obstacles, and then like as he throws the coins, you recognize the motion, especially you, Im'Land, who saw this motion very recently. He's throwing the coins as if he's trying to feed birds.
Can I put my arms to my side, go ooh, and then start picking up the seeds?
So as you approach, and you start picking it up, roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
You like pick them up with your mouth? Or?
Im'Land
16.
is blinded by a coin.
Cool. As you're bending down to pick up, you don't notice, but this homeless person like rushes at you and he dives, but
Again.
in the last moment you just manage to turn your body and he falls, and then like he gets up and stares at you. He's like, "Wait, you're not a bird? What are you doing with my bird feet? You're not a bird."
Like, technically, I am an air elemental, so really? Are you sure?
It's like,
Close
"You're
enough,
not a
right?
bird. You can't help me. You're not a bird. I need a bird."
Why do you need a bird, crazy old man?
It's like, "No, not any bird. I need a crow. I need a crow. I need something that can pick out eyes. I need something that can pick out eyes."
Britta
okay,
steps behind Parry.
Tell you where I saw those. In the middle ring, there's lots of them there. Tons.
Oh yes. Do they have big sharp beaks?
They have manicured beaks. You won't believe how sharp they are. Could cut a man's throat.
Yes, it sounds perfect for my fight against the Lord of Eyes. Yes, I need the sharp beaks to pick out the Lord of Eyes. That's the only way to defeat them. Yes.
Well, and I explained to him how I got here. Well, the route I took, and I'm like, go get him. I'm there. It's late at night. No one's gonna bug you, and they'll be asleep, so you can catch them really easily.
As you're saying this, you're having this conversation with this guy. Suddenly you stop, and Lord of Eyes sounds familiar to you. Check your WhatsApp.
It does, but I can't tell why.
Check your WhatsApp.
Actually, old man, why is the Lord of Eyes going to fight you?
So, they're not going to fight me. They fought me. They peered into my mind, and since then it's been open, and I can't manage to keep my thoughts. Like, that's why I need the birds. I need the birds to pick at the eyes.
Can I ask you a favor, old man?
Cool.
Will you share your vision with me?
It's like visions. I don't have visions anymore. They came, they looked in, and now
Just
there's no me.
Just lend me your eyes.
So what are you going to do? You just going to ask, lend me your eyes?
Yes.
And like he grabs.
I'm trying.
Why do you want my
I'm
eyes?
trying to cast.
Why do you want my eyes?
I'm trying to cast sheer perception on him. Can I roll a persuasion?
Yeah, roll it at disadvantage because this dude is manic.
Okay. Wow, I rolled two of the exact same thing. 19.
That never happens.
Cool. So, what do you want to see from him or know from him?
I just want to basically see through his eyes. What I do is I share everything he hears and everything he sees. So I basically become his head.
So I suppose right now, because he's grabbing you, you see yourself, and then what you get is you hear this whispering, and it's soft. You can't really make out anything. You just, and then you hear a laughter, and then you see behind you is a giant bird. It's like the biggest crow you've ever seen.
Oh shit!
And then like suddenly like the image of your face like leaves and the focus goes on the bird, and this guy just starts like randomly chasing it. And what Perry and Britta see is you see this exchange with just this guy asking about birds, and then this homeless person just like look off into an empty alleyway and just bolt.
So Im'Land's just like, I think he might have just been crazy, my lord.
Cool. And what does everyone else do?
I'm gonna walk up to Im'Land.
Im'Land, who's my lord? Who are you?
How many silver pieces did I pick up?
Just about 3.
Oh, that's plenty.
Should
Don't know where that
Where
is
that
in my
one made-
inventory.
She's making bank lately.
So what are you guys
Yeah.
doing? I think, Britta, you wanted to ask Im'Land something?
Yeah, like Im'Land, who are you talking to? Who's my lord?
What? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Hey, it's good to see you guys. I thought I had lost forever.
Looks at Harry like raise eyebrows.
How was your trip?
Yeah.
Why are you out here? I thought you'd be inside.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
dude, she didn't send us the tickets. Didn't take us back to the empty teapot. The tickets didn't take us back to the empty teapot. Send us to some dodgy bar we definitely shouldn't have been in.
Dodgy bar sounds fantastic right about now, but I have
So-
several bones to pick with Arisha, so
So just
I
a quick
assume
note.
you guys are on your way back.
Sorry, just a quick note. It's metagamey and stuff, but for Im'Land and Britta, that sort of exchange would have been when you guys would have done contested insight versus deception rolls, if you wanted to call for them. So
What?
just Britta,
If they
Britta
want to
could
know who I was talking to.
yeah, can
Yeah.
I? Like, he seems different. Can I check out what's different about him?
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be Im'Land, you'll need to roll deception, and Britta, you'll need to roll insight.
So that's what I was also gonna say. Do I get to roll insight as well? Because like he was very obviously trying to distract us.
Yeah?
With like, oh, you
Okay.
guys are here. Like, let's whatever. What
Well-
the fuck happened to you, Im'Land?
You'll be
okay.
very glad to know I rolled a 1.
Okay, I got 19 plus 4, so I've got 23.
Okay, wait,
Jeez.
what are you actually trying to find out?
So
And
right
I
now,
was
it
15.
would just be whether you're lying or not. So
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
have we had a
I'm
short
totally
rest?
lying.
Just a quick
No, we
aside
haven't.
here. Is this a short rest?
no, it's a short rest takes about an hour. You guys haven't had that yet,
Okay.
except for Im'Land, who had a leisurely stroll.
Im'Land had a short rest because he was roofied.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
so Britta, you
I'm lying,
As you-
but they don't know about what, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
you know, obviously, there's something more to Im'Land that you can't put your finger on, but definitely when he said "my lord" and you pressed him on it, he got very defensive. But that's all you can read from the situation.
Okay.
Cool. So now, what are you guys doing?
I'm
What
like,
is your plan?
are you guys also heading back to that crap hole with the crazy
Yeah.
lady? I have
Yeah,
stuff to
I-
do there. First of
We've
all,
gotta get
I want to
these
get more of
boys.
these candles.
But we
Yeah,
can't
I
get
don't
any
know.
crazier,
Well-
so...
Yeah, I
Why?
just want to. She seems to have some cool shit in her place. I just want to get paid and get some cool shit.
You know what,
And
guys? I
if we're
kind of
running
trust
Rebecca
Rebecca
again-
now.
And I have a barmaid to bother later.
Fair enough, and you need gold for that, so yeah. I need to start a new life, apparently. So I need gold for that.
England's like, oh look what I found, and he shows them the 3 silver. He's like, I'm rich.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's really
Let's-
nice. Yeah, well done, Im'Land. Yay. Very nice. Wow.
This would also be another good time for insight versus deception, by the way. Just
sarcasm. Im'Land,
I rolled a 1.
how did your featherfall situation go?
It was amazing. You guys should have seen. I was falling to my death. I was gonna like splat on some ground, and Rebecca stepped out, cast Featherfall on me, and I landed safe and sound. So she saved my life. I really need to get in contact with her to thank her.
Yeah, maybe they're not terribly evilly manipulative people after all. It's Arisha and Rebecca if they care about us dying.
I
So
think
yeah,
so.
maybe
I-
it's okay to go around. Get some money.
Okay, do I have to like make a perception roll on this? Like, I can very obviously see that he really believes Rebecca cast it, right?
yeah, but you don't know.
Why?
The thing would be is you'd need to think and maybe do some math to figure out like because Featherfall doesn't last forever, so you'd be
Yeah.
it would be like, oh, that's weird. Maybe the spell wore off, like, or something. It's definitely weird. because of the clashing memories of the situation.
Okay.
But yeah, are you gonna do the math, or are you guys gonna go look for the leaking teapot?
Actually, can Im'Land suggest that because he probably doesn't notice, but maybe he does, that she's holding a bottle. Could he suggest that they have just a break, just sit down and just chill for like, say, an hour?
Okay.
It's up to
Guys,
you
I'm kind of
guys. Do you wanna-
hungry as well, guys. Can we go get some food maybe before?
Yeah, we have to eat it in like a day. This is a good
Yeah.
idea.
It's been a pretty
Would
traumatic.
Leaking
packed some
shuttle will still be
sandwiches.
there when we get back.
Got some sandwiches? I did smell something that smelled kind of picklish down in the bag of holding.
Oh,
Well, there's
yeah.
pickles right around the corner.
Hey man, I told you, life gets in the way. All right, like
Smells
fuck,
like
I'll
pickles.
clean it next week. I promise.
Okay, so 2 notes about this. You guys do have rations on you as part of your starting equipment, so you could
Yeah.
eat. The
I
other
didn't know
note
that.
is the other note would be the area you're in is dodgy, so you don't want to
fought
be.
2 dragons. A couple of
I'm not worried about small
muggers
bullets.
is not going to worry us too much.
Cool, but that was when you guys had like full spell lists and stuff.
I
True that.
have a full spell list.
I don't. Can we go have a short rest somewhere or something? Do we get spells back after a short rest?
Warlocks do. I don't think any other classes do.
What can I do after a short rest? I think I can give people health
You
back.
get your
And
your bardic inspiration back. I think.
I can make us a bonfire to keep warm.
Okay, guys. Fuck it. I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna pass Im'Land the bottle. And say, look, I'm happy to find a spot and chomp a roll, but like, I'm really just trying to get paid and go to bed.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
Arisha,
So why
maybe
does
yeah,
it
let's go
smell
get
like
paid.
it's going to set me on fire?
Cool. So yeah, Perry hands Im'Land the bottle. Im'Land, are you gonna have a swig?
Yes, I am, of course.
Cool. Roll Constitution for me then.
Okay. 23.
Jesus. Okay.
Im'Land drinks like a fish.
You knock this thing back, and it's the most delicious tasting thing you've ever had. It just
I like-
goes down your throat smooth, like.
I'm like, I don't know where you got this stuff, but that place is classy.
Well,
Yeah,
British. I'm a classy broad. I have some of that.
Cool.
I passed
Constitution
the
for
bottle to
me.
it.
Okay, Constitution. I've only got like a +2 on this anyway. I got a 8. Just as I thought it would go for Britta.
So, Britta, immediately, like, it almost sets your throat, your lungs, your everything connected to your mouth on fire.
My soul.
And you have this, like, scorching memory of the one time where you spilt ammonia on yourself when you were cleaning the bar. And it's just, all you can think of is, like, cleaning liquids. And you start coughing uncontrollably, and you almost like stumble a bit, and you need to like hold yourself against the wall. It's just
trying to
like-
pretend that it's cool. Like it's cool.
And Im'Land just lightly takes the bottle before she drops it and is like, yeah, okay, so no more for you.
That's really good. Wow, I really could take the oak flavors.
Yeah, roll deception for that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna giggle. Carrie's gonna fucking just full on laugh at her friend. So you know the way that you drunkenly laugh at them, and like at 3 a.m. when you're walking back to your res room, and
Or
then
you
like you
fall
laugh so
on your
hard that you
face.
fell off the curb. Yeah, it's that kind of laugh.
So what are we having a short rest, Wade?
fucking fine. You guys can just sit. If I give you a short rest, all 3 of you have to give me another Constitution roll.
Okay.
I mean, honestly,
Because we're
like,
just sitting in the street drinking.
Yeah. That's what you
I
guys are
rolled a
doing.
5.
I got 18.
Okay, Britta, this next swig, like that first swig must have like numbed you because it goes down smooth.
Hurt my esophagus.
But Im'Land, I think like as you having that swig, like you just think of like Britta's first reaction, and you want to say something and you forget that you're pouring, and it goes down the wrong tube, and like you just start coughing uncontrollably.
It's like, well, you never know what you're gonna get
Okay,
Perry,
if you hold it
Yeah.
for too long.
I rolled a 13 plus 2, 15.
cool. So, unlike your other friends, you've already had like a full glass of this stuff at the bar. So,
I've adjusted.
your head starts swimming, and Perry's now drunk.
Oh no.
Not heavy drunk, just definitely tipsy, laughing a little too loud at jokes, and being a little
Drawing
more
attention in the alleyway.
cool. So you guys
Oh,
get
by the way,
back. Yeah.
I made a bonfire just canonically. I set that alleyway on fire as well. I'm keeping to my strategy.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Nice.
So now you guys are all a little friendlier, happier after sharing bottles around a bonfire.
In the street. Like, clearly.
Yeah. So are you guys now heading off to the
Yes.
Leaky Teapot?
Okay, so as we're walking
Okay.
there, I'm gonna like turn to Britta and sort of say like sort of giggly, like we just stole someone's alley and drank alcohol in it. We stole a homeless person's alley, Britta.
Yeah, I guess we
wasn't
did,
a
Harry.
hopeless person, guys. He was touched by something else.
Touched
think?
by us stealing his alley.
Touched by an angel?
Something like that.
I love that show.
You mean that play?
That play. Yeah, I love that play. I saw it 3 times.
What was I laughing at again?
We did.
That's just
My-
Harry
Okay.
being drunk. Harry.
My like
Wait,
devastating
how
gift.
far
Brilliant.
are we from the teapot anyway?
You guys, so roll perception for me, all of you.
Okay.
14. I don't know. My glasses are a bit foggy.
13.
15 plus 4. 19.
Okay, cool. So what Im'Land and Britta see is a familiar alley and a familiar sign of the Leaking Teapot, as decrepit as you remembered it from this morning. But Perry, what you notice is, and what's strange to you is, it's missing something. It's missing that blue door that you guys first saw when you got here.
This bitch cheated us out of our money.
So
Well,
as you
guys-
guys,
Where's the door?
Hey.
Mother of a bitch.
so as you guys, I'm assuming you're just going to go inside to see what's up.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Cool.
Might as
So
well.
you walk in the door, and it's definitely like it's a regular wooden door, unpainted. You push it open, and it opens with a creak, and like you can tell that it hasn't been oiled in easily years. And you look around, and what you see is a decrepit tea room. This was somewhere where people used to come, have a cup of tea, maybe a nice scone, but it hasn't been visited in many years. And what you see is, against one of the walls, is reading a newspaper. He's got a flat cap on, a vest and a dress shirt, and the clothes seem to pull against him as he moves, betraying a form that is almost pure muscle. He takes slow drags of a cigar, his amber eyes reading your every movement and gesture, no matter how subtle. And with a care you weren't expecting, he folds the newspaper and places it as gently as he speaks. A voice as smooth as it is guttural. So, you survived. I guess I owe old Theodora that 10 silver after all. Sit, please. He gestures to the few chairs that are still in one piece. He takes one last drag of his cigar, smoke filling the room, then kills it in his open palm. Now, tell us how you got yourselves tied up in all of this. And the truth. Delilah doesn't like being lied to. He points to an ornate great sword which has been driven into the floorboards. Its blade gleams apart from a few discolorations from frequent and bloody use. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit at this point.
Can I check for doors? Any other doors?
Roll perception for me.
Okay, I'm gonna say to him.
17.
Oh shit! I'm still dressed as Adric, but he knows I'm not Adric, obviously, because he pretty much seems to know everything. So, I'm just going to say to him that, mixed up in all what, my guy? We're trying not to die at a party. We have
The
no
party
idea
we didn't
what's
want to
going
go
on.
to in the first place. We don't even know how we got there.
So,
Like, someone gave us tickets, told us to go, and now we're just trying to get paid.
I'm just looking for doors.
We didn't know there'd be dragons involved. Fuck.
And all I say to him is, I don't know who you are, but you're not Rebecca. So until you're her, I'm gonna look for her. Also, do you have any nice candles?
So, Im'Land, what you see is on your search is there's the door you guys just came through, and there's a door in the back that would go into the kitchen and any sort of like storeroom for the shop. So you guys all, I'm assuming for the role play of it, pretty much like all talk at him at once. And he just like leans back in his chair and says, "Sit," and stares at you with his eyes of like pure amber, and then his skin is like this mottled and like pockmarked like red.
I don't know what he is.
All of you guys would know he's a hobgoblin.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit down. I'm just gonna sit. I'm like, what the
I'm gonna walk to the back door, the kitchen door, and just peek through it. Not like disrespectful, like fuck you, but just kind of like mosey on past and just like peek in. Like, you know that peek you do when you just kind of like push it and like poke your head in, just in case.
Okay.
Harry is going to go down onto her haunches, put her hands together, and be like, "Look." And then as she does that, she's going to sort of fall backwards and sit down pretty rapidly.
His joke is fuck.
Okay, cool. So.
And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, okay. Look, I'm sitting. I'm sitting. I'm
Listen.
sitting."
I'm just gonna look at Harry and then look back at the hobgoblin.
I don't have time for these younglings. I'm gonna go check the door.
So you're just gonna ignore this dude?
Rude.
I'm not ignoring him. I'm like listening to him, but in that kind of offhand way. Like, he can talk, I'm listening.
Okay, cool. So he looks around at the three of you and says, well, ladies, it doesn't seem your friend is going to join us, so let me start without him. You can call me Phineas O'Houlihan, Detective Phineas O'Houlihan. I believe the three of you met my partner earlier today, Miss Theodora.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
fuck Theodora.
Okay, cool.
Im'Land is listening, by the way. If there's nothing in the back, he'd probably sit down.
Yeah, the shop is abandoned. No one's been here for like years.
Well, then he grabs the chair and sits down, feet on the table, kind of rocking back on the chair.
So as Phineas is introducing himself, and as he says detective, he throws his badge on the table, and it's a heavy iron badge with a shield and crossed swords and details of red. And Perry, as someone who's been in Shan for most of your life, you've seen badges on the Shan Watch before. This one seems different to you. The normal badges are lesser metals, like your coppers with no additional detail. So this badge is definitely different.
Okay.
So you can roll a history on it if you want. But
Yeah, I would love to roll a history on that shit. That's cool.
It would mean nothing to me. I'm assuming.
yeah, you and Britta wouldn't have enough experience in Shan to know.
Okay. What am I running history? So 17 plus.
Cool, that's enough.
Shit, my history is 5. Okay.
You needed a
22 then.
15. So
Right.
you recognize the insignia. It belongs to the Red Cloak Battalion. And the Red Cloak Battalion, they're basically like the SWAT version of Shan. They're an exceptional unit of soldiers that is called upon if a situation calls for extreme military force. The Red Cloaks are all heroes from the last war. And now that the fighting is over, they don't love being like just referred to as cops or security. And what you do know is they're all faithful to Breland. That's the province or whatever the country that Shan is in. And the stuff you know about them is they are very based, like you guys know that the Shan Watch are normally like very, very corrupt. But the Red Cloaks in particular, even though they aren't exactly the best form of cops you'd want, they definitely operate under a code of honor. So they don't fall under the same vices of like bribery and that sort of stuff.
Are they like zealots?
No, they're just basically all a bunch of like war heroes.
I'm gonna lean over to Britta and whisper, but like really not softly enough. That this guy is a big deal. I think we might be in a lot of trouble with this Larisha chick.
I'd be like, detective, you know a lot about the city, I'm assuming, right?
You would assume correctly.
Could you help me find someone? Notice how I'm totally
Just
interested in white here.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I believe you have mistaken me for a private investigator. What about the situation makes you think that I'm interested in doing you a favor right now?
Okay. There's a
I don't know,
Mr.
you seem like a stand-up guy.
Mr. Houlihan? Did he say his name? What was his name? What's your name?
Phineas O'Houlihan.
Mr.
I think it was
Houlihan, sir.
Hooligan.
Do you maybe excuse my friends, we've had a really rough couple of days. My friend here's a little drunk.
Yes.
but
I
maybe
know. One of
you
you
can-
committed a murder, and then the rest
Yeah.
of you committed trespassing.
Could you maybe
I
yeah.
don't know what
Do
you're
you know
talking about,
who we
Wait,
I
who
mean,
murdered
we're as
someone?
we're as much as the dark as you are. Do you know who
Did we murder
maybe
someone?
you can tell us who we were dealing with because we don't
We
know.
murdered-
Guys, I forgot who we murdered.
So as you guys start bickering, he takes out a hip flask, and he just like mutters something to himself, and he takes a swig, and he's like, "Stop. Let me start from the beginning, and maybe clear the situation up a bit before this gets even more out of hand with the three of you and your yes." So he tells you how he starts with, first of all, I'm not actually here for the three of you. We have common, let's call them friends, between us. And what I've been tasked to do is to track two thieves you may have encountered. They first got on our radar when they burgled a blackened book research post in the City of the Dead. Since then, they've been spotted throughout Shan and neighboring towns. So, you
Kendall's just
guys.
Britta's just looking confused. Black and book.
What's this? Why? What kind of thieves are they? What have they been after? Why are they here?
So, we don't know. is the short answer. And up until this point, the watch hasn't been very interested in them because they always seem random, and it never even seems like the same too. Their forms always differ. They change between, it seems to be, we've spotted them as a human pair. We've spotted them as a tabaxi and a gnome. We've spotted them as two elves. We've spotted them as a bugbear and a goblin, but it's always the two of them, a tall one and a short one. It's never two the same. The only thing
Oh my god, he's talking about Rebecca.
The only thing that ever stands out is that the short one always has a very strange, like, foreign name, like things that we don't hear around these parts. So that's normally like what tips us off. And there's always a blue door wherever they go. And as for the thefts, it's never anything that they would deem the rest of the watch as valuable, like your gold and your jewels. It's always information or magical items. It's always pertaining to the Mournland and the Warforged, but it's never anything that would stand out in a register or like in an insurance claim. But what we do know is we need to stop them. And that's where the three of you come in.
One of them smoke a pipe by any chance?
My dear, many people smoke pipes. That's not exactly a clue, unfortunately.
Yes, it does sound like we have common
Encountered them.
Yeah, so they're definitely bad guys. They blackmailed us into getting here, and then the party decided, like, fun.
They
And they set that whole place on fire.
They set the whole place on fire. She did it, the little
Yeah.
girl.
Like, genuinely, we just did not really know what we were getting ourselves into.
She did save our lives, though.
Yeah,
But-
but like, we wouldn't have been in danger in the fucking first place without
It's
her
just-
little mission and gold promises.
Why are they now all of a
let's-
sudden on the Watch's radar, though?
It's not all of a sudden. It's just that we've never been able to get close to them or to track their movements, but they seem to have an interest in the three of you, so much so that the three of you are still alive.
Well, maybe they're just not bad people. Maybe they were just using us, but, you know, they have some kind of a conscience and they didn't want to kill us. They just
I'll
wanted
have
to
you
use-
know, we're all alive because we're awesome.
I didn't know about that.
He, for a split second, he loses his composure and he just like chuckles a bit to himself, and then it's like, it doesn't matter whether they're just interested in you, whether they're good people or not, or whether you're highly skilled operatives. The fact of the matter is we haven't been able to get this close to them before, and it's a relationship we would like to foster.
Exploit.
And no,
What makes you
they're
think
perks.
we can find them?
Sign me
Well-
up, do I
Looking
get a
for them, they're
badge?
gone. This is the
Well-
last place we saw them.
I personally think they'll find a way to find us, Britta. They
Shut up,
seem to
Perry.
be doing it every time.
Elbows Perry in the in the ribs.
And then
Why are you
he just-
tickling me?
Just because you look like you needed a tickle?
he
Wake
says,
you up a bit.
No
Mister-
matter. There are perks to working with us. For one, there's safe haven from House Durrani after your display at Adric's Manor.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay,
And
go on.
you-
I'm listening.
And two, there's a place to stay free of charge. And then he slides 3 keys across the table. And then
Can we think about it?
Perk 4 is those murder charges disappear for whoever among you might be a murderer. Not
If-
naming names.
If anyone among us was a murderer,
Look, that
it was
guy
probably
last month was an
self-defense.
accident. The guy I killed last month he was really looking for it. I mean, Oh,
Okay,
you
don't
mean
know
the
about
matches?
that last
Is
month,
this
but
about the people
like,
in the
as-
bar?
you
Or
know,
is this about the
if
people in the tower?
anyone may have accidentally died, then it was probably self-defense. I'm not saying that anyone did die at our hands. I'm just saying if it
Guys,
happened.
I think what he's saying is choices are limited.
And then
And you drive a hard bargain, Mr. Finn. But I have to press back that if we work together, I need a badge.
Yeah, listen.
Oh.
I saw
He-
that
he just
little
likes to laugh.
pipe-smoking 7-year-old summon a rock hand out of the ground and do some pretty powerful shit. Why would I want to risk going up against her and pissing her off?
So as he gets up, he
All the keys and the reward, Britta.
Well,
Oh,
something tells me that Rebecca, if we pissed her off or crossed her, they could probably find us wherever the hell we were. Also, she saved our lives. Don't forget. She could have let us die, but she didn't.
But we'd be
So-
cool detectives.
as you guys are talking, he gets up and takes his newspaper and he says, "Well, Mr. Ermir, I'm happy you're on board." And he throws you a stone. And you'll discover this later, but it's one of a pair of speaking stones. He throws it to you.
Oh,
And he puts
do
his
I catch
newspaper
it?
under. Yeah, you can catch it.
Wait.
No, he's still busy talking.
Okay.
While you and Britta are busy arguing. So he puts his newspaper under his arm and he just says, the keys are for a tavern called the Withering Wyvern. It's in Lower Dura. And when you get there, ask for Riggs. And then like he just pauses and he's like, "Oh, and if you three decide to work for me as a team, we'll be paying you a little bit of a salary that normally goes to my CIs." And he slams it like a meaty fist on the table and just leaves some coins. And he's like, "Miss Nowenis, Miss Elile, whatever your surname is, Perry. I can't pronounce it."
Isle.
And he's
Isle. House of
It's
Isle.
Isle.
You know,
And mine's Ermir, by the way.
Ermir.
Ermir.
Yeah, anyway, he's pronounced all your names correctly. And he tips his hat and he just like walks out the door.
Oh, wait, is he gone? Britta's like checks around the
Hobgoblin
corner.
wearing a
He's gone?
hat. That's cool.
Is he gone?
He's
cool.
gone.
Famous
Okay, well-
gone.
Rebecca! Horatio, what the fuck
I
is going
don't
on?
think they're here, guys.
I think they can hear us. Where are they fucking are? Where are they?
Roll a perception check for me. All of
okay.
you.
I don't buy that. I think they're here.
Yeah.
They're somewhere here. Okay, 24. So I got a
No.
nat 20. Plus 4.
Okay, as you're busy searching the room frantically, what does catch your attention is the familiar mechanical spider that this morning was busy attacking you. It's just one sitting like in the far corner of the room against the ceiling, and that's your spot. And as you focus on it, it scutters off into and like back into the ceiling, like where you wouldn't be able to reach it.
Okay. I know you guys are watching. Wait, what the fuck is going on? You
Alright,
better
thanks for
appear,
saving
otherwise
my
we're going
life,
straight
Rebecca.
to that Mr. Houlihan man and we're going to tell him everything. Where are you? Come out.
You say this, and a minute goes by, 2 minutes, and there's no answer.
Perry's just going to walk. This is dusty AF, right? Everything's dusty? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a dusty wall, leave a message that just says, "Fuck you, Rebecca, with my money."
Ooh, I can help you with that actually. And Im'Land like takes it out his sword. He just nicks his finger, and then in perfect ink, he writes on the wall, "REB will be at," and then where did you say the place was?
Withering Wyvern.
The Withering Wyvern. He writes there, and then
Okay.
just like sucks on his finger.
Yeah, listen, guys, listen. This is what I think. Okay, I don't know. I don't trust that that Mr. Houlihan guy. I don't know what's going on here, but at the end of the day, I want to hear what Rebecca and Arisha have to say before we decide to go and just double cross them. Not that we owe them anything.
I feel like we have more questions than we have answers. Let's go to this place. It's if nothing else, it's a roof, and let's figure it out from there.
Look,
So, can everyone roll history checks for me, just quickly?
Okay. Is this for the Withering Wyvern?
15.
No. Okay, so 15 is all that you need.
What is
So,
I've got 13.
17.
No, I got 11. I got 11.
okay, cool. So, Im'Land, what you know from your research and your studies is that it's about hobgoblins. And what you know about them is that unlike the rest of the goblinoid races, they are very proud. And what you know is that they had a very big and powerful civilization called the Darkhan. And what strikes you as weird about seeing a hobgoblin in Shan is that the Darkhan avoid the more civilized, if you call it that, principalities and towns because they view them as almost like in very distant history as being like cowards who abandoned the Darkhan in their fight against the Delka, or however you say it.
Oh, okay.
And now they see them as like slavers of their people. So seeing a hobgoblin, especially one dressed in like civilized clothes, like it's weird for you. You know that this guy doesn't exactly.
And
He
probably wouldn't dislike me if he knew me as much as other hobgoblins.
Yeah. So yeah, because this guy wouldn't be. He's definitely like out of place in Shan. Like it's not your typical where you'd find a hobgoblin.
He's not attached to their history, which would be bad for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'll probably tell the other guys. A hobgoblin in the middle of Sharn. That's kind of odd, don't you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. Why wouldn't hobgoblins be welcome here?
They don't.
I know
tend to be
loads of
around.
hobgoblins. Some of my
They
best
don't-
friends are hobgoblins.
Like literally putting my hand on her face. I'm like, they don't tend to come to big cities.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here, but maybe we should talk about this outside for no particular reason, especially not that spider we definitely
No.
saw watching us.
No, fact that we talk about it right now because I know they can hear us. Where the fuck are you, Arisha and Rebecca? You gotta
I
listen to
think I
this.
got the message. I just want to go have a nap. I have a headache.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You know what,
And we've
Rebecca?
got
You
gold
can
now.
find us
That's all
whenever
I
you want.
wanted.
We're going.
Wait,
We're leaving.
wait.
We don't want anything to do with this. Goodbye.
Where is this place?
It's
Relative
in
to
Lower
where we
Jura.
are.
You have to go one ward down to find
One
it.
ward down. Okay. What? Oh, you kidding me? It's in a shittier place than we are now?
It is.
Fantastic. Probably where Im'Land was living before anyway.
Maybe. Cool. So
okay,
you guys, are you
left
guys
the
heading
message.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You don't want us to go there. You better stop us, Rebecca, Arisha. Yeah, we're gonna get our own answers now.
Let's just go.
Could just tell us what the
So-
fuck's going on.
They found us once, they can find us again.
Exactly. You guys know where to
Brid-
find us.
Britta, what you notice is like as you shouting this and you look at the message on the wall that Im'Land wrote, 2 little blue ticks appear next to it and nothing.
Blue ticks.
It's bad to see blue tick does. Wait, what the shit?
Wow, it's like the second time that's fucking happened to me in the past month. Just
Okay,
like
cool. So going to assume that you guys walk around and talk nonsense and probably have a few more swigs of the booze, and you get to the Wooden Wyvern, yes?
No, we
Yes.
drop.
I assume so.
Cool.
Unless the dragon
So-
attacks us on the way,
No, I should summon a trash dragon, but no, I won't.
Trash dragon.
And someone's trash dragon. Thank you.
Cool. So you need to take an elevator to get down there. It's one of the further out, closer to cliffside. It's away from the main areas of Dura. And as you go down the elevator, as you step off the elevator, you're surrounded by crates, barrels, and all manner of goods. A brief scan reveals that these are mostly everyday items, from food to clothes and furniture. And your search is interrupted by the sound of music and laughter. Stepping through the door, you see a crowded tavern carved into the very rock of the tower itself. And just looking around, you can tell that this isn't like a regular, like in the upper wards, it's not a dedicated space designed for this tavern. This tavern actually like carved its way into one of the support pillars for the upper city.
Oh, no.
So you look around the walls and the ceiling with unease. As you're sure, you can hear them crack with every step you take. The air of the main hall is thick with the smell of dwarven stout, dark ale, and strong mead. The sounds of laughter and the crackling of fire pits roasting meat is as welcoming as it is deafening. Looking around the room, you see a mix of races, all in the throes of drunken revelry. A group of tabaxi at the bar take turns pushing their glasses off it. A group of half-orcs are locked in a fierce bout of arm wrestling. A goblin is passed out under one of the tables, and against the wall a bugbear is attempting to play the lute, but could be more accurately described as a crueler form of murder. And in the far corner, you spot a hulking warforged, mid-belly laugh, as he listens closely to a group of gnomes and half-elves regale him with their stories.
Ooh, can I go join the gnomes?
Cool. So as you walk up to these guys, the thing you notice first is all of you is the Warforged. He stands tall and broad enough that all the random scrapes on the ceiling and door frames must have come from him. He has a long and twisted scar along his face, starting at his jaw and ending just above where his right eye is supposed to be. The normally pristine armor plates you'd expect from a warforged are instead replaced with a tarnished mix of metals, from iron and steel to copper and bronze. And his ill-fitting pants, held up bravely by suspenders, you see that one of his legs has been replaced by a stump of wood. And then, what do the other two of you do as Im'Land bravely approaches this table?
Try to look like we don't know him. Hang back with Parry and talk softly, like we're just chilling.
I'll do that like come with me thing with my head to them. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I'm too tipsy to read Britta's chill out signals. So I'm gonna be like, whoa, that is cool, and then like walk up to it.
Parry, roll a wisdom save for me, quick.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Yeah.
14 plus 2, 16.
Okay, cool. You take out your speaking stone from your pocket and you just look at it, and then in this like clouded haze that you're in, you think about your ex, and you just like look at it and you think like, no, like I can't message them now, and you put it back in your pocket. Cool. So
You made me roll wisdom check to make sure I didn't drunk text my ex.
yeah. Okay, so Im'Land, what do you say to this group in Gnomish?
I'm just like, fellows, let's have a drink. And this chap here is gonna get rusty.
Okay, so they all look at you, and then they like just burst out laughing, and it's like, yes, drinks. And then the Warforged like slaps you on the back, and just like, I like this one.
And then I throw a silver on the table, one of my silvers, and I'll be like, drinks are on me. I am assuming that's enough for drinks down here.
they just like look at it and then they burst out laughing, and the Warforged like grabs like a huge like tankard of like ale and just like shoves it into your chest.
Nice. I can tell I'm gonna like him already.
Cool. What are the other two of you doing?
Harry's
That's
going to stare directly at the silver, sort of getting lost in her own thoughts about texting his ex. And essentially, I'm just going to absentmindedly take a gold piece out of my pocket and put it next to his silver piece.
Yo.
Yeah.
The room just goes like, yeah, Britta?
No. I'll just roll my eyes and pull up a chair and sit down next to them.
Okay, like
Britta, have a drink.
as
There was
Harry
drinking
puts
with a
down this
giant
gold coin,
thing. Why wouldn't you want to drink with a giant machine?
He's a machine.
He's probably got a name, Parry. I'm really sorry about my friend Mr. Machine. My name is Britta, and this is Parry. And yeah, hi. How's it going? We were very excited to have a good old relaxing evening in the tavern.
And for no particular reason in deep speech, I say my name is Im'Land. Because it makes me sound cooler.
okay. So to resolve all of this, Perry, as you put your gold down, and like as your hand releases it, and everyone gets a look, the table just goes quiet, and it's like you get the sense like that gold isn't a currency that's used down here or seen very often. And then in that moment, it's just like that pause you say when you reference the machine, it's just the rest of the room goes quiet. It's almost like a deathly silence. And then when Britta speaks up and it's like, yes, her story about like he might have a name, like the Warforged like looks at her and it's like bursts out laughing. It's like, yes, I do. The name's Riggs. How are you? And like sticks out a giant hand towards you.
Riggs.
Britta.
So I like look all knowingly and like self-righteously at Parry, and I do a British smile. I go, Riggs, it's really nice to meet you.
And you too.
How are
And he
you?
shakes you, and he's like, this hand is like, it's easily like bigger than your head, and as he shakes, like your whole body's shaking, and like you're barely staying on the chair.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
so I
yes,
laugh.
I like. It's like, what can I get you? What can I get you?
What's good here?
Everything.
Get her the strongest thing you have. We fought
Give me
dragons.
the strongest thing you have. Yes, I
Well,
slap my hand.
I'm the strongest thing we have, and then he starts laughing again.
Nice.
I laugh. Rakes you. I'll have
Riggs,
a beer.
You're
Give me
so
an ale.
Wait,
And I
Oh,
put
yes,
down like
ale,
a few
ale.
bronze nuts. I don't know.
Cool.
We're
So
Sorry, Potter.
he just
Hey,
like
guys, we're
runs off. He runs off again, like, and disappears in the back. And then you guys are just left with the gnomes sitting at the table. It's a handful of gnomes and and two half elves just sitting at the table now in this like awkward moment of silence, while you just hear this like banging of Riggs's footsteps in the back.
I'll be like, in
So-
Gnomish, I'll be like, more drinks.
How's about that coronavirus, hey?
They just like look at you and then like subtly like sip, and then from the corner of your eyes you see and you hear Riggs coming back, and then you hear this crash as he drops the tray and he points at Perry. He's like, what is that? What? And then you guys look at her and there's a little cat head poking out from her cloak. He's like, is that a cat? And he just runs and he like barrel rolls at you at like a speed you didn't think he was capable of. Then suddenly stops. He's like, can I play with the cat? Do you mind if I play with your cat? And then he just like, as he asks, he like looks at his feet for a bit, like embarrassed.
Oh.
What?
Everyone looks open. Yes!
There's a cat! And I'm just going to shove the cat towards him, regardless of the cat's feelings towards the matter.
I actually remembered about the cat earlier, but then we got
I forgot
entrenched
about the
in
cat.
the hobgoblin, and I totally forgot about it again.
That's fine. So you hand Riggs the cat, and he just grabs it, and then like he collapses on his back, and he's just like playing with this cat on the floor.
Laughing.
And then the gnomes like look at this and burst out laughing. It's like, well, it seems you guys have tamed the great and terrible Riggs. So I suppose we should have those drinks. And then they just carry on like drinking with you guys. What do you do?
I'll show them my key and I'll be like, gentlemen, we have lodging here. Would you know which way it is?
Oh yes, we were supposed to ask for Riggs. Oh wait, that's Riggs. Hey Riggs.
Riggs is ignoring you guys completely now. He's
Having
just
a
like
good time.
fallen in love.
Do they sell
Well-
food in this joint?
To be fair, guys, this is in character, by the way. To be fair, can we not maybe, leave the fuzz here? He's probably safer here in the care of a big warforged than he is ever with us, and wherever
Yeah.
we're bound to be doomed at.
That's true. Riggs, this cat is looking for a home. Would you be willing to give him one? He seems pretty happy
Guys.
with you.
I mean, I feel like we bonded. Like, this.
The cat's going to die with us.
Let it go, Parry. You can't provide for this cat. You know it's not right.
First of all, you know for a fact I can provide a nice life for this cat. So.
Bag of holding is no place for a cat to live.
Jesus,
Look
I
how
want you
happy
two
he
to
is.
roll roll initiative so bad right now. Just like
Go
fight
for
each
it.
other.
Fight each other
Imp
like
starts
cat.
banging on the table. Fight, 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 fight.
Okay, I'm just sort of gonna look over at Riggs
Do it.
and
You know what's
say
best for
that,
the cat.
hey, he does look like quite the happy floofer.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how he does with him and Riggs feel about each other in the morning.
We'll be living here, so you won't be far.
Will we though?
Well, I
thought
for
we
one
just
don't
came
have
here to talk.
anywhere nicer to stay, so yeah.
Well, Britta, I don't know if where you're living at the moment, but it looks like it's probably not permanent, right?
Yeah, but I still feel kind of unsure about the situation, if you know what I mean.
Guys, at this moment, our story's more happening to us than we are to it. So we might as well just
somehow.
sit here for a little while, stay here for a while and see what happens.
Okay, but I don't
Splitting
Yeah,
off.
trust
let's
that
hang out.
man.
Maybe
Why?
that bugbear doesn't seem to be like the greatest bard ever. They might be hiring.
Yeah, actually, well,
true.
I mean, yeah, okay, this place does seem kind of fun.
So as you
Couldn't hurt
guys
to hang out
are
here for a little while.
as you guys are arguing about this, and especially like when you're talking about making a safe home for the cat and that, the gnome, and you can see he's the one sitting in the front. Let me do a description for him. So Im'Land, especially for you, this gnome he's a lot plumper than the gnomes you're used to, and the three of you know this, it's like gnomes are normally studious, they're active, they get involved with espionage. It's weird to see one like so pretty much just straight chubby. And although his clothes are garish and tacky, you can tell that they weren't cheap. He wears a pair of goggles with lenses that seem to almost shimmer as he moves his head. He leans back in his chair and gives out regular laughs that shake the table itself. And the tips of his handlebar moustache are caked with grime, which, judging by the smell, is definitely the remnants from a day's worth of drinking. And this guy speaks up and he's like, well, you're right about this place being safer. It's actually a lot safer than Mist March at the moment.
Miss
And
March.
as Mist Marsh.
Oh.
And
Misma.
when he says that, Britta, you immediately go cold. Mist Marsh is where you're from. That's your hometown.
What do you mean?
Oh, snap.
What do you mean safer than Miss March?
It's like, oh, my dear, haven't you heard? Mist March is currently under attack. That's why we're here tonight. We're having our last drink before we head off, and myself and my fellow aeronauts are bringing reinforcements to the village.
My family's from Miss March. My family's there. What's happening? Who's attacking?
We don't know. We just and then he slides over. He's like, I think you might need this. It's we just got the call from from the 60 that we need to help with some reinforcements. Apart from that, they were attacked a few nights back, and we think it's got to do with the festival coming up, but we can't be sure. We just have to send reinforcements, and we know that the gatekeepers are going to also be there to lend reinforcements, but apart from that, I can't tell you anymore.
I mean, do a history check on gatekeepers and festival. What are they?
Cool. So the festival part is on that backstory thing I sent you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I can't remember it. It's just the high level is there's a festival every November, and what you remember about it is that just guys would come to your village, and they would put on this big festival, and towards the end of it, they would disappear into the faded forest nearby to just do something. And your parents would never let you go with them, but it was just always like once a year something would happen. So like it would just start off with this like big festival with drinking and parties and all that, and then there was just something dodgy in the forest that would happen afterwards, but you didn't know what exactly.
Something.
You don't know, but it seemed a lot more jovial, and what you would know. Roll history for me for gatekeepers.
Would I not also kind of have a...
I got a 7. Never mind.
Yeah, I think I can roll history on gatekeepers, because I actually wanted to say something to Britta and be like, gatekeeper, like basically saying like, if the gatekeepers are coming with backup, like that sounds bad. Do you still have people back home?
Yeah, that means I have to get home. I have to go see if my family's okay.
Cool. So
yeah, and
you guys
I also have interest in Zill affairs.
So this isn't in Zill. It's
just
basically on the border. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Im'Land, roll history with advantage, and Perry, you can also roll history.
Okay.
History with advantage.
Yeah.
Damn.
18. Oh wait, plus history, right?
19.
It's 23.
Cool. So what you guys know about the gatekeepers is they're an ancient order. They predate the war. They predate everything. They basically operate across borders, and they don't get tied up into politics sort of like the UN situation. And what their mission is and why they're so respected is because they deal with otherworldly and extra-dimensional threats. So their main job, and why they're called the gatekeepers, is that they go and they protect and they seal breaches from the other planes that try to break through onto the material plane.
Dodgy as fucking shit.
On second thought, guys, I think we should just look for Britta.
What do you mean look for Britta? I'm right here, dude.
Oh, sorry, Britta. Rebecca.
I don't really give a shit about Rebecca or any of this anymore. I need to get back home.
I mean, damn, dude, her family might be dying.
I mean, sorry, Mr. Gnome, sir. When are you traveling out? Can I come with you?
Oh, Mr. Gnome. No, my name is Zesafat Lodwak, but you can call me Slip.
I mean, Slip. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Slip.
We are heading through first thing tomorrow morning. If you care to join us.
Yes, please. I can fight.
Can I go?
Yeah. Oh, you're asking character. Sorry, I thought you were asking if you could talk. It's like, oh yes, well, unfortunately, the reinforcements that have been mustered aren't exactly top notch. So any able bodies will be more than appreciated.
Can I lean to him and wait? Do you guys understand Gnomish? Or I wouldn't know anyway. I'd lean into him and in Gnomish just be like, I don't exactly like the gatekeepers, but I'm looking for stuff. Oh, I have interest besides the battle, but maybe I can help anyway.
He looks back at you and in a cold look with like just a tinge of sadness says back to you in Gnomish, he's like, my dear boy, I'm not expecting a battle. I'm expecting that we're getting sent there to potentially and hopefully find any survivors and clean up the wreckage. But I'm not. I'm expecting the battle to be over by days.
Very well then. You can expect our full support, I'm assuming, guys?
You say that in common.
Yeah, in common.
Yeah, so I didn't
Yeah.
hear that because I can't speak Gnomish then.
Well, he replied in common, didn't he?
No, you replied in Gnomish.
Oh,
So I'm
in
like
which
still-
case, I'm like, it sounds like these people might need medical help, and both of you have some healing abilities. So, I think you guys would be good there. And I'll go with to check to make sure you guys don't get into too much crap.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and I mean, Britta gets herself into a lot of trouble, like, even without the whole hometown slide to this. So I think I'm just going to keep her company, make sure she doesn't die.
Look,
Yeah, and
I
we
really
can come
appreciate
back
it,
and
guys, but you don't know me that well. Why would you?
we're not exactly welcome here at the moment. There's some stuff going on in this town that's probably not going to be good for our health. So if we lay low for a couple of days, it probably doesn't hurt either. And besides, you guys saved my life. I owe you one.
Yeah, also, I feel like our friend Adric has been in some strange places today, and no one really needs to ask any more questions about that. So yeah, let's lay low a little.
So at first light we go.
Yes.
I guess it's settled then.
Then I suppose we should get some proper rest.
Yeah.
You guys are a bit banged up.
Not that Britta can sleep now.
You'll still get the benefits of a long rest.
Don't worry, you can have the rest of the bottle.
I push it aside and just stare off into the flames of the nearby fire.
Which I didn't make this time.
The normal, non-magical fire.
And what you see when you're not staring at it is a giant warforged, like just sitting in an incredibly uncomfortable position as a sleeping cat sits purring on his lap.
Oh.
And
I'm like, Riggs, you won't be joining us, will you?
he just looks at you and goes like, shh, she's sleeping.
I'll take that as a... wait, do we
Harry?
have separate rooms or not, Wade?
Eh?
Do we have separate rooms or not?
Yeah, you guys do.
So as Riggs sort of does that to the cat, and I'm around my party, like you almost hear like an uncharacteristically girlish giggle, and then like an "oh" at the end, coming from Harry, who currently looks like Adric.
Britta doesn't notice.
Have a broken Britta.
Britta's broken. She's
No.
she's got a 1,000-mile stare, and she's
You Britta.
Britta.
Brittle, brother.
Okay, cool. So if you
Emotionally
guys just do your evening rituals, what? I assume, Perry, you're going to identify some stuff.
Yes. I am going to identify some stuff.
I'm gonna attune to my armor.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
hey, can I slip my little vial to Perry just to identify at night if she's gonna be identified?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll do that quick. And I'll add it to your character sheets. So my joke to this thing, Britta, when Perry tells you this stuff, you think like, not even Sovereign Glue could fix my heart right now. And then Perry, I need, as you guys are about to go to bed, I need you to roll a wisdom save for me.
No. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Is it that fucking thing? It's that thing you gave me.
What
Did you
thing?
add it here?
Okay, wait. So I must do the wisdom saves in the box, right? Saving
No,
throws.
you don't need to do one. Just Perry needs to do one. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I was just reading. It's that fucking corrupted docent, isn't it?
Yeah, bad shit might be happening to Perry right now.
Fuck! Oh, thank God. 17, yo, plus Constitution. 2. so 19.
Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I need to find my WhatsApp.
Fuck me. Did I not save on a 19? Are you kidding me?
Well, maybe you did save, and something way worse would have happened. Check your WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'm going, bitch.
Oh, just while she's reading, I'm gonna assume that I'm attuning my armor.
Yeah, you guys, all your items and stuff would be attuned tonight.
Yeah, like I'm sitting in the room and we're just slapping each other until we're friends.
No. No.
Is Perry having a rough night?
Yeah.
Oh, you motherfucker! I knew you were gonna do this to me at some point.
Wait,
I
what is it
knew it.
doing?
Well, I
What's
guess we're not
happening?
allowed to know.
You, Perry can share with the rest of the party if she wants to.
Okay, can Wisdom just do like an insight check because she's noticed Parry acting weird?
No, you guys would be in your own
We're
separate
in our-
rooms at this point.
In our rooms,
Oh.
yeah. So basically, I don't know if it's that corrupted docent that I picked up. I don't know why it's happening, but essentially, like, as I get into bed, like, I start feeling sort of really hot, and my hands are burning almost, and so I put my hands out in front of me, and I sort of see these runes, or like these, almost like, it looks almost like script, but I can't read it,
Awesome.
appear on my skin.
Well,
And
fun fact,
basically
I can read all text.
Oh, that's cool. So it's basically the when I touch them, the marks feel like white hot, and when eventually the burn sort of fades away, they actually stay on my skin, even though it's not burning anymore.
Oh shit, wasn't that like, didn't that sort of happen when you took it initially?
I think actually it did have runes on it. Hey,
Did get
Yeah,
right.
so I remember something about runes. Wait, come on. What? You were there.
This is why you're supposed to take notes.
We're not smart like that.
But yeah, there was whispering and dodginess coming off it, and I think it actually did psychic damage, if I remember.
Okay.
It did.
So when she wakes in the morning, the runes will still be on her hands, yeah?
No, I forgot to add it to the thing there on the chest.
Oh, okay.
Chest.
I mean,
Oh, sorry.
see, I don't know. Can we roll can I roll a perception and she rolls a wisdom to see if we can, if she'll show Im'Land? Because I mean, she doesn't know I can read everything.
Well, not right now. You two are about to go to bed in your
I-
separate rooms.
As
So
fair
as
enough.
Britta's-
will have to be.
As
Oh, I
Britta is
see.
lying there in bed, imagining all the horrible ways that her family have, been suffering the last couple of days, another thought strikes her. Why does Parry suddenly look like Adric? It has looked like Adric for the past couple of hours.
I'm assuming she's taken it off at some point.
Yeah, I've taken it off now, like that I've gone to bed. But I disguised myself as him when we were like trying to like get through the house to escape the party or whatever.
I remember it was weird. That's what I'm remembering right now.
It is weird, and it's also weird that I haven't actually I haven't bothered to take the disguise off the whole time. There have been moments where I was like, maybe I shouldn't look like Adric here, and then I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, no one knows. The only problem is in the morning when you go out, no one's to recognize you.
Like, it was
Yeah,
so
that's-
convincing. Britta sometimes found herself becoming attracted to you. And she's feeling very confused about that, and also how you managed
Britta and
to
Perry
make
gonna
it so
have a
convincing.
will they, won't they?
Yeah, but Perry's completely unaware now. He's just like, okay, Britta, thanks. No one's ever told me how nice my eyes were before.
But now that you look like Parry and you look like a nice, decent person, she's like, oh, okay.
Okay, cool. So you guys go to bed. and you rest. You take your long rest.
Can I click long rest?
Yeah, you can. And the next morning, when the three of you wake up, thoughts obviously all running through your heads. Im'Land, I'll reply to your WhatsApp later. What you guys, when you get up and you look around the room, the three of you each of you have what could best be described as the fantasy version of a Christmas present sitting next to your bed.
Okay. Harry.
Do you open them?
I'm gonna open them with my unseen servant, and I'm gonna like hide behind the bed while it's doing it.
Harry's just gonna get up and trip over any boxes that are there in search of water because my throat is really dry.
Britta's still just looking there like,
Yeah, do we have to like roll Constitution for hangover?
Don't know how I
just
feel
Perry
about
does.
this.
Okay, so are Britta and Perry ignoring it, and
No, I'll
just
go back.
Im'Land?
I just need water first. I don't notice them until I trip over them eventually.
Do you know what Britta is like? She's had enough. She's like fearing that her family's all dead. She's just gonna fucking open it. What could happen? What's the worst that could happen?
It could be a dragon.
Cool. So
Could be a dragon. Well, fucking bring it on.
It could be. I'll resolve yours last, just because needs the most description. Im'Land, when you open yours, what you see is the first thing that catches your eye is a little satchel of money, and when you open it, inside is 100 gold.
Holy crap!
So you pocket that. What you also see is, and I am going to send this to you, you rolled up is a scroll.
Ooh,
Why isn't
I like
this?
scrolls.
Im'Land loves a scroll.
He loves a good scroll.
A good scroll through the park.
Yeah.
Jolly.
Cool. I've sent you a photo of what is on your scroll.
Oh, great.
And also, the last thing in your box is, at first glance, what looks like a little bird. And looking closer, it hops up at you and just like tilts its head. And it's a little clockwork bird, and it picks up and it like flies around the room. It does a circle and like lands on your shoulder and just like looks at you, and in your head you hear a little voice that says like, hello.
Cute.
Cool.
So jumping over to Perry, what you find is your 100 gold, but then when you pull it, when you look deeper, what you see is I actually had a name for this thing. It just looks, at first it looks like a lab coat, like just this like long white coat you've seen scientists and the like wear. What do you own knowing? So yeah, what you're looking at, Perry, is its official name is Unassuming Lab Coat.
Okay.
So yeah, this is, I'll add to you because it's in my homebrew collection, but I'll add it to your character sheet. Upon first glance, this coat looks like nothing more than your standard artificer's lab coat, but the closer you look at it, the more out of focus it seems to become. Putting it on, you have a strange feeling as if your back is being pressed against the cold face of the void, and objects seem to disappear when placed in its pockets.
Damn.
So yeah.
Definitely Arisha.
Anyway, it's Arisha.
Oh
Anyway.
shit! And then Britta, what you find is your 100 gold, and what you look at first looks like a set of playing cards. And as you go through them, all of them have like different images on, from pictures of dragons to pictures of dwarfs and goblins.
Is it a tarot
Wait,
card?
isn't that like the D&D item that everyone like butts heads about?
No, it's not. No, that is the deck of many things.
Yes.
So this isn't the deck of many things. So Britta, what do you do with your deck of cards?
I sort of shuffle them and fan them out and look at all the pictures.
Cool. Do you take one out?
Yeah, and look at it closer. I pull one up and hold it up to the light and look at the picture.
Cool. As you take it out, it's a picture of a goblin, and you hold it in your hand and you just like look through it, and you try to put it back in the deck, but it like slips out of your hand and it falls face up on the floor, and there seems to be like a slight shimmer, and then from it a little goblin appears and like looks at you, and then just like starts like walking around looking and just generally in your room doing goblin things.
Oh,
And
nice.
when you
What the
so
Touch the goblin.
you in your panic you like quickly reach for the card and pick it up, and as you pick the card back up off the floor, the goblin disappears.
Oh, that's so cool. But like,
What?
okay, can I pull it out again and see if I can talk to the goblin and make the goblin appear again?
So yeah, you do the same thing. You do this for a while that morning. You take out a picture of a goblin, you put it down, a goblin appears. You take out a picture of a bugbear, and a bugbear appears. And the more
Can I
you
talk
do
to
it, you try talking to them, you try interacting, nothing happens. What you eventually realize is these are all illusions that these cards are summoning, not the creature itself. So this item that you have is called the Deck of Illusions.
Okay.
Nice.
That's so
Interesting.
Cool.
Did I get any gold?
Yeah, you got 200 gold.
200 gold.
No, 100 gold.
Oh, 100
And then
gold.
all of you got 10 silver from Phineas, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh, that's weird. So now we're like double agents. We're getting paid by both.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Rebecca and Arisha pay way more.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And-
think I'm on Rebecca and Arisha's side anyway, as we all know.
There we go. Okay, seeing as
No,
how we
did
have
you
fantasy
Did you
Christmas.
see?
Hey, wait.
That's
Nice.
Can you guys see that? That's Riggs. I haven't
Oh.
finished drawing him.
Hang on. Let's see.
He's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And the last thing you guys find in your Christmas presents is a note.
Nice.
Of use to use yet.
Oh, well, typo then. Ignore it. But yeah, Rebecca
Yes.
sent you a note.
Yeah, no, I
Use
get
to
it.
us. No, of use to us. I think it's
Used
Yes.
to us yet. Thank you for witnessing my escape.
Rebecca's
Okay.
a 6-year-old. She doesn't have good penmanship and spelling.
Ah,
Wow.
fuck you, Rebecca's not a 6-year-old. 34-year-old in a 6-year-old's body. Okay, so Britta just says, when she's looking at the note, she goes, "Thanks, Rebecca."
Guys, seeing as how we're at Fantasy Christmas now, I think I'm gonna call it for the day.
No, yeah, it's a good place to stop, I think.
Yeah. Before I start reading Parry's chest and weird things.
So this better not awaken anything in me.
So one last note on that. So you guys have money now and cool items and what. Also, you survived and you didn't get yourself murdered this session, which was impressive.
Well, I mean, I missed all the fighting, but
No, there was no
Oh, there was no
fighting.
fighting.
yeah, sorry for being AWOL, especially after fucking up our plans last week. But I enjoyed that one because my stress levels have been maintained like a normal, except that my whole family is now dying an awful death.
Yes. Except for that.
Yeah, you're right, Britta. That's way less stressful than losing the cat to me.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But at least I got a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And the
Moral
cat
of
no
the
longer
story
belongs
is
to Parry.
show up to our sessions on time or I kill your family.
Oh, wow.
That's so funny.
Is that all?
Okay.
No, but real talk, you guys have survived enough encounters and made it through enough role playing or whatever, so you guys have gone up a level.
Oh, shit, son.
Okie dokie, guys. Have a good sleep and long
Night.
rest. Enjoy your long rest.
Have fun.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Boy.